And I had so many people back in the day go, oh my gosh, you inspired me so much. And I remember hitting 500 classes at my age of 50. So that was like huge. Just so many little steps along the way that have made me love kickboxing and always come back to it.
Okay, Team ILKB, I am here with the one and only Kim Pocetic out of Colorado, and it's probably nice and cool out there, but beautiful out there. So, Kim, welcome. I'm happy to work with you.
Thanks.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and you know where you're at, your career, how you got into punching and kicking, what you're doing now. Let's just let the world know who this awesome coach is.
Sure.
Go for it.
So so my regular day job as an operations manager for online schools. Done that for 17 years. Back in 2017, I had a friend invite me to an ILKB Kickboxing, and I was hooked. I remember walking in that day though and going, well, I work out. And then I was like, oh no, this is tough. Fell in love with it. It's probably the only thing that I stuck with as far as working out. So I feel like if you love something, you're going to stick with it. And so that was something for me for ILKB Kickboxing. The first year I lost 100 pounds. So it was, eating and working out. It's not just working out. And then along the way, I'm one of those kickboxers that hoop and holler in class, and can be annoying to some, and others would come up to me and say, thank you so much. That helped me get through the round. And I had so many people back in the day go, oh my gosh, you inspired me so much. And I remember hitting 500 classes at my age of 50. So that was like huge. Just so many little steps along the way that have made me love kickboxing and always come back to it. I've always, earlier I wanted to be a coach, but I just didn't feel like, I don't know, sometimes you're just not sure of it, right? You're like, well, maybe I won't do that good. And so here we are. I became an instructor at a Denver gym, and I took your certification and learned so much more. Met some great people in our class and have some great tools, and I'm loving it.
Kicking Kimber, I love it. And, when you say you're a hooper and holler, we call that a fire starter. You're one that brings the energy and gets people just fired up. You're like a fire starter. You get the fire started at the gym. I think that's a great quality. So keep that hooping and hollering going. People love it, right?
And I think in our class, there was something that said, energy is caught and not taught. And that's huge.
You got it.
Huge right there.
You got it. You know, it's contagious, right? So, okay. So you're teaching every week at a gym, and that's awesome. And you gave me some numbers earlier. You've taught, since your certification, you've taught how many classes? And
30 classes, and I've had like 160 people in those classes.
Wow. So man, that's awesome. You're changing lives with kickboxing. That is great. So what is it? that is so awesome. What is it you're wanting to improve on, learn on? What's your next step in your journey? Let's just go from there and talk about what you need, what Kicking Kimber needs.
So I think I still need to boost up that energy. It's really hard when you get in front of people and you're like, oh, I hoop and holler on that side. Why can I do it this side? And I'm getting better, but and I think it just takes a little time and a little bit more assurance, but definitely I think about that all the time. I need to step that up, get that energy up there, because it sure makes a difference how your whole class starts, right? Like it makes a big difference.
Well, and energy it's easier when there's a bigger class, probably, right?
Yeah.
Do you find it easier to keep the energy when there's a lot of people?
Oh,
or
yeah.
If you have 4 in a class, it's a little harder, and you got to be a little more, a little more on it and around. But when you have a group and they're high-fiving each other, it's just so much easier, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. That's probably one of my favorite things. At that last round, I run around, high-five everybody, and they're like, and I should do that at the beginning, right? Like,
yeah,
it that way. We don't have to always end it that way.
Welcome people that way, right? Welcome them in the room. In the first round, have them warm up, shuffling around and high-fiving everybody, just shuffling around, and just have them moving. That's a great way to do it. So energy, yes, energy has to be right in the class. And I always say the coach brings the energy. You are the weather. You bring the weather. If you bring a little bit you're not fully there. It shows out there. So you gotta, kind of be on stage and bring that, whether you're the light bulb in the rooms, you are the light bulb. So it's important. And, I always I say that oath, remember the coach oath, like I will teach this class if it's I will coach this class if it's the most important class I'll ever coach. I'm patient, enthusiastic, and I lead by example. And when I put on the shirt and wrap my hands, that's my go time, right? That's finally my switch where you like turn off the outside world.
Yeah.
And my switch is when I wrap those hands and get ready to go. So bring the energy. Yep, we need to work that. What else, Miss Kimber?
Let's see. I do want to figure out where I want to go from here. I love my gym. There are some things like we don't do pad work. We don't do some of that stuff. And I love that.
Yeah.
I used to hate it when I first started at ILKB, because partnering up with someone is like, ooh, when you're an introvert, you're like, no, I don't want to do that. But then you build those connections and it's like your favorite part, right? And so I kind of want to branch out somehow on my own. Right now, school's crazy. So maybe summertime's the best to start focusing on that. I'm coming up on 60. So I'm very proud of how fit I am. And I feel like there might be a niche for the senior community. There's a Senior Planet by ARP, and I haven't really checked that out, but it's all about fitness and doing stuff like that with seniors. I think there's so many studies coming out that boxing helps with Parkinson's, and sometimes it doesn't have to be. I mean, we do intense workouts, right? But it doesn't always have to be that way. People my age are not moving, and then they like my father would not move, and then he couldn't lose the weight or get healthy enough to get a surgery done. So it's so important to keep moving, and even if it's just like a little punch, just getting them moving. And I feel like that could be one of my areas of strengths, just because I believe in it so much.
Well, I know it could, because you have the passion. I just see it coming out of you. So I think it's genius. I love it. I have a soft spot for that age group too, because, my father's 80 and lost my mom last year. So I know how important it is to keep moving. The old saying that I say a lot, the body in motion stays in motion.
Right.
It goes with human life. I mean, I think if you continue moving, you will continue moving. It's when you stop, that's when the problems happen, right? So I have a friend that works for Rock Steady Boxing. He's a coach for Rock Steady who helps Parkinson's. That's what that organization does. They help senior or people with Parkinson's box, because it helps their coordination and their bone density and strength and movement, and it's so good. So I definitely think you've got a future working with that group. Okay, so let's make sure we understand you have a passion for helping. You want to help the older group with punching and kicking, right?
Yes.
I love it. I love it, love it, love it.
Or even my age group, right? Yep. I'm not a spring chicken.
You're not old. Come on. Hey, well, let me ask you this. What about changing levels at your current gym where you teach at? Is there opportunity to grow there more, or are you just capped as a coach at that one studio, or can you move up there and be like a manager, or move up from there? What are you thinking?
I think just a coach right now. I mean, she's definitely open to ideas. But I don't know. It's just something that we just have not explored, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can always go out on your own, of course, easy, but or you can try to grow, where you're at. And it sounds like you've already got a very stable, so you teach every week. You said Monday, Wednesdays you teach?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Good.
It's usually 3 days a week. Yeah.
Gotcha. And do you mind me asking, what is did they pay you per class? Is that how you're paid, or Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Paid per class. That's perfect. So do you ever have no one show, or have you ever had that happen, or no?
Sometimes.
Do you still get paid there, or no? Or
it really depends. It really depends.
Gotcha.
if we know at 4:30 and no one's coming in at 6:30, and we know ahead of time, then I don't come in and I don't get paid. But if I show up because someone can't, you know what I mean? It just depends.
Gotcha.
Just make it fair for all.
I hear you. Now,
Yeah.
now you mentioned about the pad work earlier and how much you love the pad work, and I think customers enjoy the pad work. So there's two different ways so that people listening understand. One is you're holding the pads, maybe the thigh pads or the hand pads, and they're striking. The other is partnering with someone and they both have gloves on and we're hitting each other's gloves, right? So you've had experience both ways, right? Okay.
Yes.
And in your classes, do you incorporate any of the partner hitting with the gloves each other, or do you do not?
We
Okay.
do not.
Gotcha. Do you hold the striking pads at all for them? Do you walk around and hold them at all? No? Could you, or is that against the policy of the gym? They just don't do that.
They just don't do that.
Gotcha.
They just don't do that.
You'd be looked at strange if you did that, right?
Probably. Yeah, they just don't they don't like that contact per se.
I gotcha. Yeah, so that's not a place you could add that in, could you?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I do have a gym at my place where if I wanted to do some private sessions with someone,
there you go.
That would be a good avenue. Like, hey, you want to come? Let's do some backgrounds.
I love it.
Or not some backgrounds, some
pad rounds.
Some pad rounds. Yeah. I miss that. I love that. Again, it was something kind of uncomfortable, but once you get used to it, it's kind of fun. It's kind of powerful, actually.
Very powerful. Yeah. Okay. Well, what else can we work on? I think we get a good understanding of what's happening in your world. It's awesome, by the way. So you're doing great. What else can we help you with?
The other thing I thought about, and I don't remember where this came in the other day, but, I work for a school and we have clubs, and I thought, well, as an office manager, I don't usually do clubs, but I was like, I could easily do a kickboxing class with the students, shadowboxing online. And I was like, maybe that's what I need to do for fall. I mean, we want to change lives for all different, totally different age levels. Obviously, that's not something that is, income for me. However, it could be something that their mom and dad like, oh, well, I want to try that, somewhere else. So it could grow into an opportunity as well. I think that sounds kind of fun.
Yeah. And you say for a school, is it like a middle school, high school that you work with?
We have kindergarten through 12th grade.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
Probably, maybe the middle schoolers need it more because they're kind of crazy.
Yeah. I don't know if you know if you heard one of our other coaches, Kelly Glow. She's a PE elementary school teacher, and she started teaching ILKB classes in the gymnasium after school to the staff, to her fellow teachers. I said, yeah, they need the stress relief,
I saw that. So, I saw that.
Yeah. On YouTube. So she's, I just talked to her yesterday, actually, and she's wanting to find a more permanent place and buy more bags and run a real class and get there. But she's got 6 people in her class, and every week in that gymnasium, and she holds the targets. They don't have any bags in there, but they're doing a lot of it in the air, but she's holding targets and doing drills with each other. And so she did a good job, but yeah, I love what you're thinking on getting, you could go after the kids, or you could go after the staff, right? The teachers.
Yeah.
I'd go after the teachers.
That's true. Yeah.
If you did the kids, maybe ask the parents to join in for a class. We used to do that in the karate business. Like we would say, we would do an introductory lesson with the kid, and we'd say it's customary the parent does it the first lesson with the kid to make them feel at ease. And then we'd try to sign a family membership up, right?
Yeah.
In martial arts, that's one of the strategies we would use. You want to get to the parents, but you can get to them through the kids, so that's one way to do it. So yeah, I love it. You got some great ideas, Kimber.
I think there was another gym that I was part of, and they would bring in groups like for PD, so like a coffee shop, or maybe that's something I can help with at my gym now, is like, hey, let's do this little event for your group. And then there's always a possibility of more memberships, right? Like,
yeah,
you got to get them in there and like hooping and hollering, and they're
exactly.
Like,
yeah. Team building events.
Yes.
Call them team building. That's what companies want to hear. They don't want to, if you walk in and say, hey, let me teach all the staff, all the team, we do an hour long or 45-minute long workshop, which is a class, and it's a team building event. And then, you work from there. So you get all of them in, and, definitely a way to do it, to go around and do team building events for people, and they're kickboxing events, right?
Yeah, we have done speed dating at that gym. So
there you go. Oh boy, speed dating at the gym. Holy smoke. My camera guys can't hear you, and they're back here like, what's going on? What are they talking about? How did the speed dating work? Explain that one to me.
There's a company that does it, and they sign people up, and they did partner workouts, obviously, but you had the bags in a round, and then they would, have to switch partners. And so they got to meet and punch with somebody else. So
oh my gosh.
I don't know if any connections came out of that, but it was a fun idea.
Yeah. I don't know, but it's funny. It could work, right? It could work. I guess you see people at their roughest, right? When they're sweating and when they're like in their workout clothes. And if you're attracted then when they dress up, you're going to be really attracted. I don't know. It's getting crazy. Right. It's like, what's going on?
Well, people that like to work out, would like to, end up with someone that has those same interests. So it does make sense.
Yeah. No, my wife is big into fitness. I mean, she's a yoga teacher, runs the 9-round brand. I mean, yeah. So we have to have that in common. We have to. So yeah. Love it. Well, Kimber, I think you're a ray of sunshine. I love your energy. I think you're absolutely awesome. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
So keep up the fantastic work. I mean, I would suggest, if I was in your shoes, try to see if you want to expand your career, the gym you're at is the obvious place to try to go higher. But if you have the hankering to go on your own, which some people want to, I think it's great. I mean, and I'll support you as best I can, and we'll cheer you on the best we can. And it's a lot of opportunity out there. We just have to, take the action and do it, right? And jump off the cliff and do it. But
that's it. You got to jump off the cliff.
Exactly. You can do it.
Move forward if you don't take those risks.
Well, I'm proud of you. We believe in you, Kimber. And I appreciate you sharing some of your insights and some of the things you're doing at your gym. What are some other things before we go that you're doing in your class that you could tell the audience that make the classes fun and exciting? And how do you engage people, and how do you keep them coming back? And what are the things you do to keep, retention, right? Retention, people coming back over and over. And
you know what? I think it's the before and the after class. It's getting to know the members. A lot of times you'll see people at the gym just run out and, just leave. Not in our gym. They tend to hang out, they talk. We go to rugby games. We go karaoke. They're having a big party this weekend for the challengers. It's not only just at the gym. We have that social life outside. So I think that's a big thing. If there's community there, they're going to come back. If they're if they're feeling like the lone ranger in the crowd and no one says hi. I mean, I just recently went to one of our sister gyms, and I showed up and no one said hi to me.
Oh.
And I went back to my gym owner. I'm like, they didn't even say hi. They didn't even know I was there. And she's like, what? That would never happen here. I'm like, no, it wouldn't. It's huge. It's huge. That smile. I remember when I first started I Love Kickboxing, my favorite part was them saying bye, Kimber, and hi, Kimber, because they knew me, right? That makes a big difference. Just that hi, I acknowledge you. And that means a lot to some people that don't have that in their life,
Oh, I 100% agree. So you believe the community, of course, greet every person. My brother's got this saying in his martial arts school. He tries to be the friendliest place in town. So
I love it.
That's his thing. I want to be the friendliest place in town. He knows everybody's name, every parent. He knows what the parent does for a living. He's like, how was the office today when someone walks in, or how's the police job today? He just knows so much about them. And he tells everybody bye. It's like, and I remind people in the South, I don't know if this is everywhere, in the church, as a young church kid, when I would leave service, the preacher was always at the back door telling everybody bye. And and he knew everything about everybody. And that, so I think, you're saying you have that at your gym. You know everybody's name. You greet them when they come in. You tell them bye. See you next time, right?
Yeah.
What else do you say when people leave? You know what we train people to say? We say, thanks for coming. We love you. When you coming back? And we always ask, when are you coming back? And the reason we do that is because I like for people to verbally commit to me. I'll be back Wednesday. Because if they don't show up Wednesday and they told me they're going to be back Wednesday, then they're going to feel a little bit guilty, right? Like, darn, I thought I was going to be there.
That's true.
So we always ask, when are you coming back? When are you coming back? When's your next workout? When's your next session? So try that. Add that to your arsenal when you tell people bye. Hey, when you coming back, Sally? Good workout, good class. When you coming back? Boom, see you then. And get them to verbally commit to you, because the behavior you want is your customers to continue coming back, right?
Yeah.
Good. What else would you say is a secret to success to running good classes? Community before and after, right? What else? Let's give them the secret sauce. Can't hold back, Kimber. Okay, you gotta give them the secret sauce. You've been coaching a long time.
I want to say energy, but I feel like sometimes I don't have that energy I need. But it does make a difference when I'm like running around and I high five everybody at that last round or during class, and then you see them doing it. It's fantastic. The smile on their face is just awesome. I just love it.
Good. Awesome. I love it. Well, Kimber, this has been great talking with you. Keep up the great work. So proud of you. You did an amazing job. Keep kicking. We'll see you later.
Bye.